Guess what, Sean?
What's up?
Hockey still hates me.
Yeah, you're taking another month off, right?
Thinking eternity off. Another month. The hell with that. If you want to know, how there's like first to score a basket and all that kind of stuff, right? You want to have an absolute guaranteed bet. I take a hockey team. Whatever team I take the other team to score first. That's an absolute, man.
Yeah.
It's like Darwin sitting under the no, not Darwin. Was it Darwin? Oh my God, I can't believe I don't remember this. Well, I don't want to say it. Which one was sitting under the apple tree? The apple hit him in the head. I think it was Darwin. Darwin's evolution. I don't know who is the guy that discovered gravity. I can't believe I can't remember that. Oh my God, I think the apple was a rocket hit me in the head. Oh, I can't believe it. But anyway, that is just like gravity, my friend. I bet on one team, the other team absolutely scores a goal.
What was that? I didn't get to check. What was the final of that game?
4-2.
Yeah.
But one goal was an empty netter at the end. So it was 1-0. And then Vancouver was getting just killed early on. Like they outshot like 11-1. But then they got it together and they tied the game. And then they took the lead 2-1. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I'm feeling pretty good about now. I should have just jumped real quick on the other side and bet Colorado. I am so good at hockey betting, NHL betting, that I can end teams' streaks where they haven't won a single game on the road in 2021. That's how good I am, Sean.
Yeah, you could have ended Portland's home streak by picking Portland yesterday, but instead they won. You left them go.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do, Sean? You can't catch them all. If you're a Chicago Bulls fan, I don't know. DeMar DeRozan took a really awful shot. He almost fell down like Curly Neal and the Harlem Globetrotters and get up and try to make a shot. That wasn't probably the best moment for
that actually saved my night. Portland coming back and winning. I'm still feeling the effects of I needed one more point from Click Capella to hit a parlay. $40 parlay would have got over $400. Needed him to get a double. He ends with 9 points. They do the hack-a-shack. He makes the first free throw for the ninth point and then misses the second free throw. And I did what you did last night. And, usually you watch the ESPN thing and I see timeout and I'm like, these guys are going to take him out because they see what they're doing. And that's what he did and never saw the floor again. So everybody's been there.
I've been there way too many times. I mean, I was there with Russell Westbrook missing a free throw with one just like that. And he never took a shot again after that. And then I had another one with a guy, all I needed was 1-3. And the guy from Bridges from Charlotte. Guy casts up 7 threes a night. And this night he put up 4. And the first shot of the night, Sean, the first shot of the night. So 48 minutes left to go in the game. Well, 47. First shot of the night goes in 3. I'm like, oh, that's a lot because I only had him for 2. And he can't get another one in the next 47 minutes. So I don't know what's worse, missing a point at the very end on a missed free throw or waiting 47 minutes for a guy to hit another 3 and he doesn't do it.
And I'll tell you, I lost another parlay by the Knicks, and that was stupid on my part. And, that's that feeling I'm talking about. We both agreed that the Knicks are not a team that should be favored by 11.5 points. They don't beat teams by 11.5 points.
No, they lose by 11.5. They don't lose by 11.5.
Yeah, so should have been all over Orlando. It's those kind of games there that you're like, well, there's got to be a reason they're 11.5 point favorite because it's not adding up because they don't beat these teams. And then they couldn't even beat the Magic.
Yeah, I don't even think about it like that, Sean. It doesn't go that deep for me. I'm not that. I'm skin deep.
No,
I'm as shallow as they come, my friend.
I just feel like we talked that one out, and you do that a lot where you're like, well, this team shouldn't be favored by this. Well, and then I guess that means we should go the other way because.
Well, I think, like I said before, Sean, you don't have to be compelled to bet every game, my friend.
Yeah. But
some of them, so you like to bet them all, but for me, I don't. If it's a crap game, I come from the stock market world, from the financial background, and everybody builds these models, the financial models, and what's up, boys? How you doing? He's on the oil fields taking my break today. He's working in the oil fields, so we'll make sure we run through it quick so you get back to the oil fields there. But when I used to work in the financial markets, we'd make a lot of financial models, and junk in means junk out. So if a game is junk, let it go, Sean. Let it go, son.
Yeah, no, I get that. Maybe those games aren't junk.
No, you don't.
We're giving out the winners. We're just leaving it go because it's junk.
You're the proverbial, I got $1 in my pocket, I got to do something with guy. So you got money in your account. You're like, I can turn that 40 into 400. I just need one more free throw from Clint Capella.
Oh, man. I wanted to shoot that free throw for him.
Yeah, well, he probably would airball. All right, Sean. At least then you would have it in your own destiny. So let's go ahead and start tonight with the NFL, the National Football League. New England, surprise team. Tyrann Mathieu talking very nicely about Matt Jones. So now that the press is out, the secret's out, Matt Jones, the kind of chubby Tom Brady 2.0 version is out there. They opened up at 7.5-point favorites. The Falcons got absolutely smoked. The Patriots smoked the Cleveland Browns, and the line goes to 6.5. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it makes no sense. I'm all over the Patriots tonight. That would be the only thing to be scared about. But this makes no sense. I mean, the Patriots should roll here.
Well, they're on the road, Sean, and you've had your fair share of road favorites.
Well, the Falcons, I mean, their best player all year offensively has been Cordell Patterson. I don't think he's playing. He's ruled out.
Well, he hasn't been ruled out yet.
Well, he's close to it. If he doesn't play, I mean, he's been the guy scoring the touchdowns. He's been the guy doing a lot of the running. He's been catching the ball. Kyle Pitts has tried to be featured, but he hasn't done very well without any outside presence. They're still without Ridley. So their offense has been really struggling. And
Gage has proved not to be a whole lot, right?
Yeah, so if you just got Kyle Pitts, Belichick's going to take him away. You don't have much of a running game. They can't stop the run. New England's getting Damian Harris back, and this Stevenson's really good too for New England. So I expect New England to roll here, and I will take them giving up to 6.5. And actually, I'll give out and this ain't an official play, but DraftKings had 100% profit boost for a same game parlay for tonight. So I took New England giving up 6.5, them leading at halftime by at least one. The Stevenson to score a touchdown. He looks like a guy that's going to score a lot of touchdowns if they give him the opportunity. The only thing that scares me about that is with Belichick and the whole running back situation. Sometimes you never know. And then over 19.5 receiving yards from Hunter Henry, who has had that every game but one. One game he had 19. If that happens tonight, somebody might need to call 911 on me. I can't be a yard short again.
Well, you won't be. You'll be a half yard short.
So
that sounds good. What does that pay?
So I put $24 on that. $254 it comes out to.
Yeah, and that's not bad at all.
Because you double it.
Odds.
Yeah, it was plus 475. It goes to plus 950 with the 100% profit boost. So
at minus 6.5, Sean, it's minus 115, or you can go minus 7 for 104.
Ooh. I'll just do the 6.5 because I know it will happen.
Yeah, they'll win. It'll push. You don't lose on a push. I'm gonna do the push, Sean. I think New England wins this game too. I have them winning by more than 7 points, Sean. So and I hate this idea of a road favorite by a touchdown in a short week against a team that just got absolutely demolished and did some demolishing last week. You have one team that's going to regress to the mean, come down. That's New England. One team that's due to bounce up. That's Atlanta. So this really scares the hell out of me. But the system that's won at about 64% so far this year is saying, Rich, take New Orleans. I'm not New Orleans. Take New England. I'm going to join you, Sean, for minus 7 for minus 104. You know what? I feel like if they win by 6.5, they're going to win by. If they cover 6.5, the worst thing I can do is push at 107. So I'm going to just do a minus 7 for minus 104. The total in this game, Sean, is 50. I think 47. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. See, I don't like the total because I don't know how much Atlanta is going to score here. And I hate saying every time I say this, they lose. So I don't even want to say I would go New England's over and Atlanta's under, but that's what if you're going to bet that's where I would go. I wouldn't go the game total here. And I'm not going to use the word that Drew's baiting me to ask. Not doing it. It feels like it to me, but I won't say that because exactly what you said.
Lock, John? Well, you want him to say lock, right? Because if he says lock, Drew, you can go the other way.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, though. New England's been told how dangerous they are and everything all week. Atlanta's been told how terrible they are, so usually it goes the other way.
Teams don't. I mean, it's the NFL. There's a big variance from week to week. One team just killed Cleveland. One team just got killed by the Cowboys. One's due to come down and one's due to come up, and you just got to wonder where that come up and come down meet.
Yeah, but the Falcons they're very talentless right now. I mean, without Ridley, Matt Ryan's not played that great. If they don't have Patterson tonight, I don't see where they're going to do it. So
I agree with you. That's why I'm on it. But we're on the side of the asses. I mean masses, Sean, because 70% of the tickets are on the Patriots, but almost 60 cents on the dollar is on the Falcons. And then on the other side, the total, as I mentioned, is 47. The tickets are actually split 50-50. I have the game actually coming in at 42 points. So 62 cents on the dollar is backing the under in this game, Sean. So I think that's the right side of the game too, but it's not enough. 5 points isn't enough for me to make that move. I would need that line to go up to like 48, 49 for me to go ahead and take the under in this game, which I probably would feel more comfortable with, honestly, than with New England giving up 7. No. College football today, Sean. We have one college football game. We have 2 college football games. Nicholas State and Southeastern Louisiana. Any thoughts there? I mean, you bet everything. So
no.
You got to have something on that.
I didn't even see that on the schedule, but that's like a Division II, Division III game.
I figured you'd have I love this. At Nicholas State. They've scored 47 points a game in Southeastern Louisiana. They couldn't score a touchdown if you put them at the 1 yard line with 10 chances.
Nope, I got nothing on it.
Yeah, I got nothing on it too. But the Louisville game against Duke, Louisville is favored by 20, Sean. That's where it opened up. That's where it is. In some places, it's gone to 20.5. So maybe the line's going to creep up in Louisville's favor.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is a team total. I'm going to go over 40.5 for Louisville at plus 100. Duke gives up a ton of points.
They sure do.
Yeah, Louisville.
Although that Louisville offense is not a juggernaut there.
No, not.
I think I look back and I think they've scored over 33 like once.
Yeah, well, it was last week because I think they beat Syracuse. It was like 41-3 or something like that. And Syracuse's defense isn't bad, so they got it together last week. Now you go to Duke, where Duke's defense is horrible. I think Malik Cunningham and Louisville scores more than 40 here.
Yeah, well, if you think they're going to go score more than 40, then you got to think they're going to win. If you're going to think they're going to score more than 40, why wouldn't you take the total?
Well, I get plus 100 for the over 40.5, and then I don't have to worry about that whole backdoor cover thing to, give up some garbage touchdowns at the end. So one thing I know, Louisville's going to score points and Duke's going to give up points. So I'm going to go that way.
Well, I think that's a smart move. I'm going to go Louisville minus 20, which is a big number for me to go minus. But as you mentioned, as I was going through my qualitative research, Sean, I noticed that not only do they give up a lot of points, but they have one of the worst defenses in college football, period. So they give up a lot of running yards. They give up a lot of passing yards. They give up a lot of points. They do a lot of things wrong here, Sean. So I do agree with you. And looks like we're on the side of the masses. At least I am, because 2/3 of the tickets are on Louisville, 2/3 of the money. A little less than 2/3, a couple pennies short of the bet. So a little bit of money fishing around on Duke. As far as the total itself is concerned, Sean, 2/3 of the tickets are on the over, but 80 cents on the dollar and up is on the under. So big money coming in on this game, going under 60.5 points.
Well, that would just be Duke's offense. I know there was a question on whether their starting quarterback's going to play or not, and if not, then they got 2 guys that will substitute for each other. So they'll have 2 quarterbacks. And you know what they say, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. So
Seanism. Is that how it works?
No, that's not Seanism.
Is that how it works in Cleveland?
That works in Cleveland, no. That's not a Seanism. That's been around for a while. I just like Louisville to score points. I don't know what Duke's going to do, so I'm just going with a Louisville total.
Yeah, they'll come up with some crafty cheers. That's what they'll do. Washington versus Miami, off to the NBA. Sean, I don't have any NBA plays today, so I mean, to me, everything was too close to bet. Do you have anything in the NBA?
I have one, but it does scare me. But I'm gonna do it. Cleveland's a little banged up now, and they've not played very well. They didn't score much, and if they can't score, I think the Warriors are gonna score. So I think the Warriors win that by double digits. So getting minus 9.5, I will take it.
You're going to take minus 9.5 for the Warriors. and that's minus 105, Sean. So you get a pretty good number on that. As far as let's just run down the bets, what's going on out there with the money. So if you're looking at the Warriors and the Cavaliers, let's start with the Wizards and the Heat. The Wizards, about 40% of the tickets and money are on the Wizards. So 60% of the money is on the Heat at -7. When you look at the total in that game, again, we see the same thing in this game we've been seeing pretty much all year. Most of the tickets are on the over, but even more money is on the under. The Warriors and the Cavaliers, most of the money, about 80% of the tickets are on the Golden State squad, but 2/3 of the money. So again, a little bit of money fishing around on the Cavaliers. Both the number of tickets and the money is on the over in this game, Sean, which is kind of surprising to me, considering that some of Mobley is out still, right, for the Cleveland squad.
Yep.
San Antonio and the Timberwolves. I was looking at the over in this game, Sean, and I'm not alone apparently in this because 2/3 of the tickets are on it, but almost 80 cents on the dollar is on the over. But that total at 219, I look at what you need to go ahead and win because the total is 218.5. I looked to see how many times these teams were in games in their last 10 where the total was over 219. There weren't very many. So maybe it goes over 219, but I stayed off of it because neither team's had a really record of getting above that number. Most of the tickets are on the Timberwolves, but most of the money is on the Spurs. Go ahead, what?
Yeah, Minnesota, last year they were, score a lot of points, give up a lot of points. This year they're a lot different.
I think it's because of the rule change.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of free throws in the paint anymore.
And I lost track yesterday, but I think there was only like 2 or 3 overs yesterday. You were saying about all that money with the unders. I think a lot of them covered yesterday, so people were cashing big again on the unders.
It's another game too that I was looking at the over on, which is the Clippers and the Grizzlies. Again, that number is 221. I looked to see how many times these two teams in the last 10 games, not against each other, but just their last 10 on the schedule, how many times they combined with the opponent to go over 221, 222, and it was not that much. There's no way I can take it. The Clippers on the road as a 1-point underdog. About 40% of the tickets are on the Clippers, so about 60% of the bets are made on the Grizzlies' favor, but about 2/3 of the people back in the Grizzlies with their money. Finally, the 76ers are going to head off. Well, there's another game. 76ers are going to head off to Denver. It seems to me like Philadelphia is getting worse by the game with all these guys out, Sean.
Yeah, they are. That last game was very, very bad. So it's probably I stayed away.
Denver and Utah are very similar teams.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I stayed away from it, but I feel like Denver should be able to cover this number. But I can't imagine Philly plays that bad again either.
Well, I can with everybody on the bench. I mean, you got so many people sick. Like those guys have got to be getting tired because they got such a short bench. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're young superstar athletes. They shouldn't be getting tired, but maybe they are. Yeah. I agree with you. I think Denver's the play, Sean, and so does 75% of the tickets and 75% of the money. This game, 50% of the money is on the over, 50% is on the under. Can't play that. Finally, the Raptors head off to Utah. They are from Toronto. The Jazz are a double-digit favorite, Sean, 10.5 points. That doesn't deter the bettors because 51% of the bets are on the Jazz, and 70 cents on the dollar is backing the Jazz. So even more money than tickets. In this game here, Sean, you have a huge amount of money on the under. Over 80 cents is on the under, and most of the people are betting the under as well. Again, I couldn't find anything in the NBA I like tonight, Sean, so I stayed off the NBA.
Yeah, I just looked at that Golden State game. It does make me nervous, though, because they're coming off that Brooklyn, whatever you want to call it. We don't like using the word statement game, even though we do.
You love using it. I don't. Yeah, I make fun of it because I think these guys are professional athletes. I think they're more worried about who's showing up at their hotel room after the game or where they're going after the game to party than they are if they're making a statement. Maybe in the playoffs they're going to go make a statement, but before then, it's just let's get out of here with a W. Let's not get hurt, and let's go out and have a good time.
Yeah, I would just worry about a letdown game there, but they should beat Cleveland by more than 10. And with Mobley being out, Cleveland's offense is totally different. They weren't very good offensively before. I mean, they're better defensively. But Golden State's going to get their points. So
they should. But they're coming off a big game too. So maybe the letdown. I do think there are letdowns off of big games, but I don't know that the teams look to make statements.
Yeah.
Not this early in the year. Okay, college basketball, Sean. As you mentioned, we're doing all right in this sport so far. So I don't want to jinx it, but there's too many damn games to go through all of them. Who do you like?
All right. So I like.
God, I got a feeling the list is coming off that big deep sigh. Go ahead.
No, I like Xavier over Ohio State. Money line. Up? Yeah, plus 125. Ohio State's played some teams at home that they're way better than, and they've struggled with. Xavier
they
at home.
Super high up tempo offense, Sean. They're like one of the. If you look at like the points per minute, based on 100 minutes, they're one of the top teams in the country. So Xavier's gonna have to keep pace. Yeah,
but Ohio State hasn't played anybody yet, and like I said, they've kind of struggled with those teams. So I think Xavier at home.
It's a statement game for Ohio. This is a battle of Ohio, Sean.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to use the statement word. Then the other one, I really like this one. Now I jinxed myself.
Take the other side.
DePaul over Rutgers. Rutgers has played 3 games at home. Again, they've played nobody, but they've struggled. They went to overtime with Lehigh. They scored. I'm trying to bring it up. They were in the 40s against Merrimack. I mean, their offense is terrible. So DePaul at home. They really
haven't now, DePaul's right down the street from me. I live on Fullerton, and I could literally take a bus to where DePaul plays basketball in about 7 minutes.
Well, you should go tonight because they're going to have a big win.
I'm not interested. For me, I'm going to do a couple halftime games, Sean. I'm going to do Milwaukee. I think the line in the game is like 16.5 for the game total, something like that. To the halftime number, I'm getting 9.5. So I'm going to take Milwaukee plus 9.5. And then a little late night action for everybody who wants to stay up a little bit late, wants a little bit of money on something while they're, you might want to fade it, but one of those late night games where you're sitting around flicking through the channels and saying, you know what? I want a little bit of action. I'm going to take Arizona State plus 4.5 at halftime. I think they might actually win that game.
Who are they playing?
I don't remember. Another
San Diego
State. Yeah, this Milwaukee squad, they have one of the. I mean, they probably haven't played anybody either, but their defense so far this year has been lights out. And who are they playing? Milwaukee.
I got to bring that up. I got to go through a bunch of.
Now, whoever it is, they're playing. Their offense has not been all that great so far this year either. It's a better team. I forget who it is. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't be underdogs by 17 points. But
Florida.
Yeah, against Florida. But Florida's offense is not really
tipping off right now. I said they're tipping off right now, so you just got that pick in.
Woo! I'm a winner. All right, Sean. So, any other thoughts for tonight in terms of sports bets?
No, that's it. I had 8 yesterday. I'll stop at 5 today.
I have 4 today. I didn't do any NBA plays. On the daily fantasy side, you mentioned, so to me, looking at the game, and I put it through all the statistics, when you're focusing on these things, I would focus on the Atlanta pass game and the New England run game. That's, I think, where you're going to score all your points. I know that the Falcons have given up a lot of touchdowns through the air, so I wouldn't be surprised if New England runs the ball to the goal line and then Matt Jones passes them in. But I think that's where you're going to find the statistics. I read the same thing about Corey Patterson, so I put Mike Davis in there because there really won't be much of a backup to Mike Davis. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Davis catches 4, 5, 6, 7 passes tonight. Maybe even more. And if he does, he could have a big game. So I put him in that captain spot in the flex thing. So in any case, that's how I did daily fantasy tonight, Sean. I'm hoping I finally win one. Last Monday night, I showed Sean I was just 2 players away from being the champion. But what are you going to do?
What's your thoughts? I really think that Ramondre Stevenson is going to be really good. It's just a matter of Belichick using him over Harris, or they at least getting 50-50. But I think they're going to really beat
I don't think he's going to 50-50 him, Sean, because if you look at when Harris has been healthy and the other guy has been healthy too, he's been a healthy scratch with Damian Harris healthy. So
no, a couple weeks before that, even the week when Harris was there before he got hurt, he did get some carries and catches.
Right, but then later on, though, when they were both healthy, the other guy was a healthy scratch. He was healthy and didn't play. So yeah. I think he'll spell Damian Harris, but for the most part, I think Damian Harris, because Belichick, I mean, he doesn't really like he likes to play the more veteran guys, and I would suspect that Damian Harris is probably better at pass blocking than the rookie Stevenson is. So
He is, but Stevenson's way better at catching the ball, though. So, yeah, you might be right. He'll do more like the third down stuff. And I also think he's going to be the goal line and short yardage. He was really Harris is a bruiser, too, but also with him getting hurt, I think they'll have Stevenson be the bang-around back a little bit.
Probably. I mean, he had the helmet on this week, but we'll see. I like Damian Harris better because when they're both healthy, he's the guy that gets 80% of the carry. So I wouldn't be surprised if later on in the year, if the game gets out of hand tonight, then yeah, maybe then you'll see Stevenson in because they don't want Damian Harris. I don't think the game's going to get out of hand, though. I think it's going to be a close game until the end, and then there'll be some separation. That's what scares me about tonight. Like I said, New England was way up here last week, and Atlanta was way down here. They both kind of have to go like this. I'm just hoping where they meet is about 8 points.
Yeah.
So we can both win. All right, Sean, tonight, tell us about our guest on Horse Racing Radar TV.
Caitlin Free. She was supposed to be our guest last week, had to reschedule for this week. She does a little bit of everything with horse racing. Her Twitter account is nothing but horse racing, pretty much. She'll be a great guest. She has a lot of opinions and a lot of insights. So
yeah, it should be fun. That's 9:30 tonight over on Horse Racing Radar TV. Make sure you check that out. We've been really, Terry and I have been doing pretty well on the horse racing show in the morning. So if you like horse racing, make sure you head over to Horse Racing Radar TV or Racing Radar on Facebook and Twitter, or you can just get our picks straight up at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Otherwise, Sean, run through your picks real quick. I'll run through mine, and then we'll wrap it up and watch all these games on Thursday night. Hopefully stuff our pockets fat.
So I got the Patriots giving up 6.5. I got Louisville in the college football game going over 40.5. 2 college basketball plays, 2 upsets at home. Xavier plus 125. DePaul plus 125, both to win. Golden State giving up 9.5 against a banged up Cleveland team that's having trouble scoring.
I have the New England Patriots giving up 7 because I'm getting minus 105 versus Sean's minus 120. And then I have Louisville minus 20 because, as he said, that Duke defense is, they don't even play defense. Do they even put players on the field? And then I have 2 halftime scores. Apparently one started already between Milwaukee and I forget who already, Florida. And then Arizona State later on tonight versus, who are they playing, Sean? San Diego State.
San Diego, yep.
Both to halftime. So 9.5 for Milwaukee and 4.5 for Arizona State. Sean, that wraps up today's show. Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here? What should people do?
People should go to moneylinemadmen.com, register, put their thoughts out there, see our thoughts. Go to Facebook, Twitter, Moneyline Madmen, and subscribe to the YouTube channel here. And then tomorrow night we'll be back, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, doing our NFL show. So,
and you don't want to miss that.
You've been red hot in the NFL, so
I've won 11 of my last 12 games. Bill Krackenberger, where are you, my man?
So hopefully you keep that going.
Yes, I hope so too. I've been, like you said, the reason I am like that is I'm just the sport I'm the most disciplined in. And when you sent those notes to me, I was like, damn it, I just have to carry through with that same discipline. Really, the only thing that's really hurting me is hockey. Well, otherwise, I'm 4-16 in hockey.
If we throw out hockey and baseball, we have done.
Well, I didn't really do that badly in baseball. I'm only 4 games under 500 in baseball, which is not that bad.
Yeah, I did awful in baseball. If we take my baseball out, I'd be glad to never bet on a baseball game again the way that went. Hopefully next year is a different song with that.
Yeah, it will be. All right, Sean, you have a fantastic Thursday night. Folks, hopefully everybody's bets end up winners. And as I said just a few minutes ago, hopefully they all stuff your pockets full of cash. Sean and I will be back tomorrow night at 10:30 Eastern. I don't know, the time always changes. But
no, it's always 10:30 Eastern on Friday.
My brain always changes. See you tomorrow night, 10:30 Eastern, so we can go through Week 11 in the NFL. Hopefully we kick it off with a good game on Thursday night. Usually if I do well on Thursday, I do well for the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you then, Sean. Have a great night.
You too.